Welcome back, everyone, to Hearthstone Masters Korea.
Hi.
I'm out of breath because we have an excellent problem here at Youngsang.
Oh, really?
We have too many fans that the line at the bathroom is too long.
Wow. Chober literally, like, speed dashed back to the desk right as, like, the intro was happening. Like, Usain Bolt could not have beaten him. It was impressive, actually. I wish you guys could have seen it.
Well, here I am, thankfully, back in time for our last matchup, the winner's match on this side of the quarterfinals. Pretty exciting. I mean, Palmblad showed some really good play in that last matchup.
He really did. And, you know, again, I feel like he's going into this one a little bit favored. I've just got a feeling right now. The fans kind of reflected that as well, too. It could really go either way. Flurry played great in our first match of the day, but I'm giving it, like, I would say, like, 55-35 for Palmblad. Yeah.
55-45.
55-45.
I got you, man. I got you. Doa math strikes again.
This is my math.
Well,
this is my math skills.
It's all right.
Guys.
We got the message, though, that you favor Palmblad by
true.
just a little bit.
I could have been great in the housing market, apparently. Oh well, missed my chance.
Well, Flurry on the other side. I mean, you know, he didn't make any mistakes or anything in that first set, but he did play a little bit greedy with that rogue. Other than that, I mean, I think the sets were actually a little bit more straightforward for him, so it's still kind of hard to call.
I agree too. I mean, it is hard to call. It's very close, not in any sort of like numerical percentage kind of way, but it's, you know, theoretically close. I just want to get into the match. Let's do this.
Well, yeah, I think we are going to meet the players once again and just show you guys you know, what they have prepared, where they're coming from, their win rates and whatnot. Some interesting stats here. But actually, what's more interesting is that a lot of these guys don't have fleshed out stats because it's kind of their first time in an official tournament.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I mean, for Flurry, that is certainly a little bit less true. He was around last year, too. Didn't have a lot of success, but he is back again and really playing better than ever. And it's cool to see. We've seen a couple players come back from last year and look better. We've seen a couple players, a lot of new players, really, and then a couple old veterans as well.
Yeah, and so here he is. He just beat Dawn, who a lot of the other pros here were like, yeah, you know, we think he got pretty lucky coming into the qualifiers.
Yeah.
But he did beat Surrender, he beat Transit, but eventually he got shut down by Flurry, so he put a stop to that. On the flip side, Palmblad, the man who took down Rainy Hour from SK Gaming in the round of 16 and still made it to the winner's match here.
Slayer of Rainy Hour against the Slayer of Caster and Dawn now, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, both of them have had some pretty decent opponents coming into this winner's match. Just a clarification, of course, Dawn and Time, the losers of the previous two matches, they're not done just yet in the tournament. No. They will play in the losers matchup tomorrow. We are playing a dual tournament format. And looks like both players are ready for set number 1 of the winners match. Who will secure their spot in the semis and who will have to wait until tomorrow? Let's kick it off with set number 1.
All right, Warlock versus Hunter for game number 1.
Pretty common matchup.
Yeah, that's true. And these guys bringing 2 of the same classes each, with Druid and Warlock both. Hunter and Rogue, the differences in the class selections. And remember, it is that Zoo Demon sort of Warlock for Flurry.
Yeah, so now both of them most likely watched each other's games backstage while they were waiting. So I do like the selection on keeping that explosive trap. Generally, obviously, you want to just let your mad scientist do the work. But again, Zoo, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, might as well. Can help you fight for a little bit more board control early on. And so what's Flurry's first play going to be? Is he just going to go ahead and coin into that Haunted Creeper?
Yeah, there
pretty
we
nice.
go.
Pretty nice to have a couple knives coming out without endangering your knife juggler.
Yeah, we'll be pretty straightforward.
So we'll see. It may be tempting, actually, for Palmblad to just sort of pop this Haunted Creeper right now. But then again, I mean, it's Face Hunter. You have to get as much damage done as fast as you can because with this sort of zoo deck, you will probably find a Defender of Argus or two in there. You know, there will be some taunts and some big creatures that are going to be hard to deal with. And he is just going to go to the face because of that.
Yeah, I mean, once you start sacrificing that face damage, you essentially just lose your identity as a face hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, playing it even safer.
Wow, look at that.
Okay. He just wants to, at this point, he's like, all right, well, I've got a taunt up. Might as well just fight for board control. No reason to try to do my own set of damage early on.
Another Worgen Infiltrator drawn. And it looks like it's going to be clear on the Void Walker, at least.
Do you just hero power here, I think?
Or do you go for the trap?
Yeah, so I mean, those are the two big questions. Whoa, okay, or the Infiltrator.
If you're not going to go for the trap, I think you should go for the Infiltrator. And the trap, it might be a little bit early. You know, it is. I mean, Flurry should know what kind of trap this is from the previous games. And so it's fairly transparent if you trap now what you're trying to do. So, okay, he's going to go for the hero power, though.
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm okay with that personally. I think it kind of sets the tone a lot more.
Doomguard.
All right.
Yeah.
Void Caller in hand, too, for Flurry. So his board's about to get pretty big.
And now I think you have to go for the explosive trap. Now it's big enough where you're going to get some decent value out of that.
Yeah, explosive, just hit face with the creeper.
Yeah. And then hero power? Or would you play the Worgen Infiltrator this time?
Well, it looks like he's just going to go with hero power. Personally, I would have also gone with just hero power, but...
I mean, the faster you can put damage on, the better your chances are, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow, Black Knight. This seems to be a really sort of classically flavored zoo here.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know it's explosive trap, so you might as well just clear the board. That's pretty much the only use you're going to get out of those right now.
Oh,
I would probably silence a Void Walker here, or Void Caller, rather.
Yeah, although I think, you know, yeah, if you silence the Knife Juggler...
I mean, no more knives, yeah, that's true, but having that free demon come out is pretty scary. And look at that, Void Terror, actually. That's a way for him to get out of... well, I mean, he can use it to eat up the Knife Juggler and the
That's true.
Flame Imp.
Huh, yeah, to get out of that explosive trap range.
You know, honestly, you want to get it out of your hand, too, because of the Void Caller. You don't want that coming out without getting to use a Battle Cry.
Okay, hear me out here. Maybe you just... Maybe... Okay, you kill the owl with the Flame Imp.
Yeah.
And then...
Ooh, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, then you kill... Or this is even better. Actually, no, it didn't matter. He could have just killed it. It wouldn't have mattered either way.
He wants to get the Death Rattle from the Void Caller is what you're saying.
Yeah, you know, although I think he got a little greedy here with trying to get the Knife Juggler also.
Look at his face, too. I think he messed up a little bit there.
Yeah, because... Yeah. Okay, I mean, sure, if you get the Knife Juggler, your Void Terror is huge. But at the same time, now your Doomguard's going to get hit by that explosive trap.
Well, that's the issue, right? And now your Void Caller is as well, too. You could have just ran in with just a Void Caller, had it live with 2 health, then use a Void Terror, had it be a little bit smaller, and kept all of these minions from taking explosive trap damage. So, yeah, I'd say it's still a good board, but definitely could have played that turn a bit more.
It was a little too greedy, and now it's really going to feel silly because it's just been silenced.
Yeah. Still 3-3, and he's just going to go to face. He's got all the pressure.
Yeah.
Does not need to worry about clearing out this board right now.
He has Unleash the Hound, too. This looks really good for him. You can't play that Flame Imp now. You just got to... Now you just have to fight for board.
Yeah, pretty much. Black Knight. Just 4-5 body.
Oh.
And you can clear this out fairly decently. You can leave him with a 2-1 and keep some stuff alive.
Do you concern yourself with Unleash the Hounds here? I guess not. I guess you're just going to keep as many as alive as you can. Yeah, I mean, because you got to form a way where you can come back for it.
Wow, look at that.
That...
It's a lot of damage. Is it going to be lethal? Let's see. 5 plus 6.
10.
Yep.
10, so he's 1 off lethal.
Yeah, well, all you need is a hero power then. And, you know, does Flurry have any way to do 21 damage? He's got, let's see, 9 on the board. And
wow, playing it even safer, just clearing it there.
That's fine.
I like it. Oh, man.
Yeah, Flame Imp. He's just going to suicide out in game number 1. And so Palmblad going to take it with that Face Hunter.
Well done, well done.
going to face with the face hunter.
Yeah, but, you know, as much as we all like to joke about how simple it is to play face, and ultimately, like, bottom line is simpler, right? Because you go to face. Like, it is a one-sentence win condition. But, you know, which minions you play first, it's kind of like Zoo. I mean, sometimes Zoo, you do have to make those small nuanced changes, especially in the mulligan phase.
Yeah.
And I do think Palmblad plays that pretty well.
I would say so. And, yeah, I mean, the misplay from Flurry, it didn't really end up impacting much of anything.
Yeah, so
that 2 damage from the explosive shot still did 2 damage to him, when, you know, whether or not it did damage to those minions.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to concern himself too much about that. Just, you know, keep it in the back of his head so that next time he might have to play that same scenario again, he plays it a little better. But thankfully this time, not a huge impact. So we'll be going right into set number 2. Hunter down for Palmblad, Druid or Warlock coming out from him. His Warlock is Handlock.
Yeah, this could be kind of interesting. We can get some class mirrors with different archetypes.
Yeah.
See what it ends up being.
I wonder if Flurry will just bring back the Zoo a second time, try to just get that win.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I remember Flurry being more of a ramp druid and Palmblad being more of a combo druid. I might be wrong. We've seen a lot of
one
games
of them in the
together.
first set played the ramp druid.
Yeah.
Let me just check real quick. Just need to check for a couple of tech cards as we go right into set number 2.
All right, Warlock versus Druid. So Flurry sticking with the Zoolock.
I kind of like that. I mean, you're given the chance, might as well try to just get that efficient win right away. So
if Druid can ramp well, though, it can be pretty tough for Zoolock.
Yeah, I mean, so he's considering what should I do with this swipe. I mean, you have the coin. I think you keep it. You're sending 3 back anyway.
Oh, man, and Flurry having to throw everything back. Rolling the dice a bit there, and that is not the greatest hand.
Yeah, that's really bad against Druid.
Yep.
Just
okay hand for Palmblad. Okay, upgrade that to really good hand for Palmblad.
On the flip side, in the future, Flurry's Druid also is running 1 combo.
Oh, okay.
Well, 2 Savage Roar, of course, but then...
Yeah, so a bit more on the ramp side then.
Yeah, Palmblad running double combo. So.
Sure. All right, Nerubian Egg. You know, and at least he has a way to use it with that abusive Sergeant when he gets a chance, but not going to get a chance on that Shade of Naxxramas. Double abusive. Ew, just none of the early game that you want to draw from Flurry. It's a rough one. I mean, he may just have to life tap here.
I think you life tap and use 1 abusive to get maybe some damage.
What's going on here, Chobra? Is Angry Broccoli?
No, Forces of Nature. It says Force of Nature, Shudder, Angry Broccoli.
Of course. Eat your vegetables or they will kill you.
Yeah.
Wow, Innervate.
All right, well, you can keep that.
Yeah, save that for next turn for a quick Ancient of Lore and a nice draw here. And with these Shades of Naxxramas, yeah, oftentimes you are using them early just to clear the board. Get a little bit more board control. It is a bit dangerous, of course, in this situation because you are susceptible to maybe another abusive Sergeant, to perhaps even a Mortal Coil or Implosion.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a couple threats here, but if you can, basically, if you can battle out like 2 cards with the Shade, you've got basic value off of it.
Yeah.
Of course, against Zoo, it's kind of iffy because like all those cards are generally 1 mana cost, so
yeah,
the value calculation gets a little bit iffy there. But
he could just hero power, but if you do that, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I
can't believe I didn't even see this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So he was going for the swipe, but now I think the biggest concern there was, yeah, I mean, I could just keep this to just like win early. I've got the Savage Roar.
Dark Bomb.
Oh, well, at this point, then I say you just. Yeah, the swipe's
like
gone,
the
I think, yeah.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Thinking about it, he's got it hovering over. Dark Bomb's a sure kill. What is Implosion going to do? Oh! Just 2.
Feels bad, JPEG. Oh, boy.
He's just going to load that, I guess.
He's gonna make sure that Shade lives. He is going to make Flurry pay.
Yep, and again, you don't want to leave them any demons out.
All right, for everyone watching, this is why you go for the safer play. I mean, because here's the thing: if you played Dark Bomb, you could have still gone for the Creeper. Like if you could only Dark Bomb, I would have been okay with it.
Well, he could have only Dark Bomb because he only had 3 mana at the time. believe.
He had 4 mana.
Did he?
Because he Implosion. Implosion's
Oh,
4 mana.
of course. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I think basically it was a greedy play is what it really comes down to.
I don't mind a bit of greed, but it does come back to bite you sometimes.
Yeah.
It certainly did for Flurry.
This shade ain't going anywhere for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you're gonna have to Abusive Sergeant to get rid of that.
Yeah. Another Imp Gang boss. At least he's got the Dark Bomb to get rid of Lotheb.
Yeah. Alright, so finally the board clears up a little bit for Flurry, but that's gonna hit his focus pretty hard here.
Well, here comes Ancient of Lore, probably. Depending on what the draw is. Well, yeah, here comes Ancient of Lore.
Alright, and Palmblad also has his second combo in hand, or his second Force of Nature, the full combo in hand, so right now he has lethal.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes, he does, unless these Ancient of Lores are cleared. And yeah, he's going to clear the one.
But I believe he still had... Okay, so he needs to defend Marcus, yeah, because he still had lethal here, because he life tapped. Okay, was that silence? Right. He's got a silence for one.
8 mana total. Ooh. Oh, there's the Innervate. And that means he can Innervate out that Druid of the Claw and clear both of these taunts.
Yeah.
Yep. And he may just go for the 4-6 here, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is safer because, again, you still have guaranteed lethal. Oh, boy.
Well, there is a Mal'Ganis in the hand, but he is 1 mana away from being able to drop that.
You can't... Okay. I think... Wait, because if he kills it, he... All right, well, actually, he can clear to make sure that he doesn't have immediate lethal, right? You just saw an Innervate. Because if you kill the Shade with the 2-1, and then you power overwhelming your defender, then he's at 18 for the combo damage. Now, that's... like, you could argue that's the safer play. If you really want to just go for a bigger shutdown, I think you fish for the Void Caller here, and then you power overwhelming, but it's not going to happen.
Yep.
All right, well, you can... Well, now he has lethal.
Yeah. Yeah, now he has it. Right. Okay, well, there's a Haunted Creeper. It's going to be power overwhelming to take out a couple of these minions anyway, but it is going to be exactly 18 damage for Palmblad as he combos out here in the next turn, and he's going to go up 2-0 in this series.
Well played by Palmblad. Oh, that implosion.
Yeah,
that hit him hard.
That's a tough one, man. He went for it, but the safer play may have been the more prudent decision here.
I mean, so I agree with you. Like, sometimes you got to go for the greed, and the greed can be good.
Yeah.
But that time, I really think the payoff. So personally, I was considering the implosion too, because like the creeper is just a 1/2, and you'd rather have 3 to 4 imps on the board.
I probably would have imploded too.
Yeah, but
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have. So you really can't blame him. It just hurts real bad.
Yeah. Well, anytime you take a chance.
Yeah. I mean, it was a 1 in 3 chance that it failed, and it failed. So what can you do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Palmblad looks pretty happy now. He's sitting comfortably on his hand lock.
Yeah. Are we actually going to see a 3-0?
Well,
in our last match. I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised. But the handlock, I mean, all of its matchups are pretty fair, I'd say, actually.
They're not bad.
Yeah,
Rogue decides to bring in some. Rogue would probably be, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he chooses.
Yeah, the Rogue can be a little iffy, but we'll be back after a break. Flurry will have some time to decide what deck he'll bring in set number 3 in the winner's match. Welcome back, everyone, to Hearthstone Masters Korea. We're in the final match of the night, the winners matchup on this side of the quarterfinals. Flurry versus Palmblad.
Indeed. Things going pretty well for Palmblad so far. He's got the 2-0 in the series, first taking it with his Face Hunter.
And this next turn here, a little bit of a misplay here on which he cleared the minion with first. Before using the Void Terror. Lost out on some damage, but in the end, that's not actually what mattered, right? That's not what lost the game.
Yeah, it didn't end up making a big difference in the long run, but still a turn that could have been played much better for Fury. But you know, sometimes when you've got so much going, all your moves kind of get jumbled a little bit. You do things out of order.
Yep. So in the end, we have Palmblad taking the win here as that Face Hunter going face, staying true to his plans.
Glaive Zuka.
Pretty fun
face.
card.
Yep. And so, moving on from there, it was the Druid versus Warlock next.
Yeah, and Flurry finishing himself off with the Flame Imp there.
Yep.
So Palmblad did win the second set too here, Druid versus Warlock.
Indeed. And again, just really well played by Palmblad. I mean, overall, solid decision making, pretty tight decks.
Yeah,
and this implosion,
this one did cost him a little bit here.
Yeah, failed him pretty hard.
Yeah, I think the other flip side there was that if it didn't die, it was gonna keep growing, right? If it was a different minion, that would have stayed at just 3 or 1 health. That's another story. But in the end, what matters is that Palmblad took the win there. And for those of you guys who are watching live, don't worry. That screen flicker was a little bit on the replay part, so it's not your connection to the stream freaking out.
No need to adjust your set at home.
Yeah, we're here still live with Flurry versus Palmblad. Could be a 3-0, Doa.
Yeah, it could be. It's unlikely to see that sort of stuff in Conquest, but Palmblad's on his way, 1 game away from completing it.
Yeah, if he can do it, I think we've really got to give him credit for understanding the Conquest mode quite well and what decks to bring against which opponents. Of course, today he did have to face 2 opponents. We'll see how it plays out for Palmblad versus Flurry. Could be the match set here.
And here we go, Druid versus Warlock. So Flurry switching it up a little bit, deciding to bring the Druid for the beginning of what will be his last chances to stay alive today. And even if he does lose, he still goes on to the losers match tomorrow. So nobody being eliminated today. The only thing that's decided today is who moves on to the semifinals. And it's going to be one of these 2 players.
Yeah, I think the Druid is a fair pickup here. I mean, the Rogue could have been okay too, but the Rogue is a bit of a coin toss. And then Druid, I think, has the most stable chance. Zoo, generally not too ideal against Handlock.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, of course, recent variations have had a little bit more success, but
I think Druid is still the solid choice, like you mentioned. I think you're right there.
All right, well.
And this hand for Druid, not terribly fast, too, so Palmblad in okay shape right off the bat.
Yeah, well, he'll just keep hero power, and then he does have Sylvanas and the Ancient of Lord that can be coined and innervated out.
Yeah.
Ooh, just in time.
Yeah, and you might as well just go ahead and play that Zombie Chow. Use it to get just a little bit of pressure on the board.
Yeah, just losing 1 health on the Twilight Drake at this point is negligible.
Yeah, and it does theoretically pull a card or 2 out of their hand as well.
Yes.
Yeah, there goes a Wrath.
Right.
Which, I mean, to be fair, Wrath isn't terribly useful against Handlock because a lot of creatures have such a lot of health, but it's nice to get them to have to use it right away. There's that Twilight Drake. So are we just going to see, we could see something like a Keeper of the Grove silence into Innervate either hero power or a second Wrath even now.
Yeah, he just top decked that Wrath, so he drew into it, which means, yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Yeah, you might want to keep silences for the Giants being taunted later, but
if he innervates to take it out now, this means he can't innervate for Ancient of Lore next turn, but
no, he cannot.
Might as well get rid of that.
Yeah, I think it's alright. You have the Sylvanas to battle the Giants.
You still draw a card. Okay, and there's Shade of Nexramas.
Alright. Oh, wow.
Drew right into that one.
I mean, this is just Memories of his Prius deck coming right up.
Seriously. Getting what he needs at the right time. So 5 mana. We'll see what he decides to do. May want to drop the Azure Drake here, just to get that draw and get something on the board to do damage to this Mountain Giant with later on. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best option. Piloted Shredder, okay.
All right.
Oh, man. Sludge Belcher is just so good here, too.
Yeah, I mean, one science has been drawn out, so
Yeah.
let's just start playing for the board here a little bit.
Thing is the Azure Drake served its purpose, right? It drew the card, it
Yes.
set him up for a possible swipe, and you know, the ability to kill it with any other 4-attack minion. So things are going still as planned for Flurry. Uses that swipe there, and just gonna coin into the shade, I guess.
Well, there's a Hellfire here from Palmblad.
Yeah, there is.
I think you can afford to use it. At the same time, I mean, there are Shredders in Flurry's deck, but otherwise you will never get another chance to really kill that shade. So
Well, it also lets you Mortal Coil this Keeper the Grove too, which is pretty nice. Oh, it draws into a Sludge Belcher.
okay,
Cool.
just draw some more. You already have that Molten Gen and an anti-Keelbot in hand. Lots of things set up for Palmblad. Not as much for Flurry anymore.
Harrison Jones, not as helpful here. You know, honestly, I'm a little bit surprised to see Harrison Jones in this deck because we haven't seen a lot of Warrior. We haven't even seen all that much Rogue, honestly.
Yeah.
And Paladin once in a while. I'm actually a bit surprised he's still got Harrison in that deck. I don't think that's necessary for the meta we've seen in the tournament, right, so far.
I would agree. I mean, especially when you're fighting for so many tech choices in Druid decks.
Yeah. I feel like Kazan Mystic would be better tech than Harrison in
I
this
would
tournament
agree.
anyway right now.
I would agree. And if you really wanted to deck with Harrison, I would not put it in your Druid. I would put it in something else. Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, this board is starting to get a little bit overwhelming from Palmblad's side. He's got 3 minions and a 5/10 that you can't silence.
Yeah. Maybe Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Could make an argument, too, for the Ancient of Lore just to try to draw into something. But you've already used a swipe. You've already used both Wraths.
What if you put down Tharzan?
You know, that's the other option.
I mean, because that also draws quite a bit of a threat, right? So.
I mean, the big thing with Emperor Thorzen is that it would let you get a lot more down on the board quicker.
Yes.
You don't have a lot of taunts, though, so if Warlock chooses, you know, you can just kind of go right through it.
Yeah. And at that point, you're basically kind of challenging the Warlock player to guess what you have, right? And
Yeah.
I think given how Palmblad has played so far, he may just ignore it.
He could play both piloted Shredders, too, which would give him a decent amount of board presence. And you're probably not going to run into any Giants next turn.
Okay.
But he's going to go with Sylvanas anyway.
All right.
There's a lot he can use to deal with that, though.
Yeah, he's got a Science there. I mean, you've got the Dart Bomb, you've got a Mortal Coil.
Wow, another
you've
Mountain
got
Giant.
Mountain Giant.
Okay, there's the silence, yep.
Wow.
And he can, just Dark Bomb the
Oh
Lotheb.
my goodness.
Run into Sylvanas.
Is Palmblad going to get the 3-0 here? Looking pretty close, though.
It's looking so close, man.
That says right side meta OP because the player sitting on the right side is Palmblad right now. He's just going for the 3-0.
Yeah, actually, let's see. Well, player on the right side won. Well, yeah, actually, Palmblad won his last match from the right side as well, too.
And I think Palmblad won his round of 16 match from the right side, too. I think.
No,
oh, no,
Reniauer
Reniauer was there. His matchup was Reniauer. Okay.
It's only today, yeah.
Okay, only today.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Yeah. Well,
although those things sometimes happen with certain teams and players, like they just don't play as well on the other
scary,
side.
isn't it? Gotta put down the 4/6 as a taunt, yeah. Doing everything you can at this point. Just developing any sort of board. Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I mean, this poses some interesting choices, though.
You know, you've got 17 health. You can clear this board fairly easily.
Multiple ways, yeah.
If you want to play it safe, you can go for the Sludge Belcher. Wow, now you can get even more taunt out. Yeah, he could.
I think he Giant and Sunfury, maybe. Okay, so although that brings a
Keelbot
Twilight,
is fine too.
yeah, that brings a pretty low point.
And there's a Shadow Flame too. Jeez, yeah, why not? Why not just give yourself 2 8/8 taunts This is all locked up, man. I do not see a way for Flurry to get out of this.
Palmblad's just
Wild
like,
growth is not going to be it.
I've heard Druids liked Big Tots.
I'm putting the check mark by his Warlock deck already, man. This one's over.
Oh, man, a 3-0 in the winner's match. I mean, Palmblad.
There's nothing he can draw. Nothing he can draw.
Man.
That is it. It is over, and Palmblad will 3-0 his way into the semifinals.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Flurry's going to have to come back and play tomorrow.
Well played by Palmblad. Takes this one 3-0.
Yeah.
And, of course, had a bit of a tough matchup coming into the winner's match, though, 3-2.
I'm telling you, man, these Gotsiho players are looking really good in this tournament. Best results so far, 3 out of the 4 players in the semifinals from the same team already. And the other players that are left eligible are not on the team. So I actually believe that's every player from Gotsiho in the tournament that got through.
Yeah, that made it to the round of 16.
Yeah.
Because Surrender didn't make it.
Everyone that's in our tournament.
Yeah.
If they didn't make it through the qualifiers, they don't count it over, even if it is Surrender.
We don't see them as players.
That's right.
But you know what's funny is also in his interview during the round of 16, if you remember, Palmblad was talking about how, I think everyone he's faced through the qualifiers and up till now has either been a Golden Coin player or is on Golden Coin.
It's hilarious. He's a Golden Coin slayer.
Yeah, he's a Golden Coin slayer. He's just knocking everyone down left and right, crushing their hopes and dreams.
That's right. I see a bit of a rivalry forming between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting storyline for sure. A lot of these guys coming from Golden Coin themselves. But let's talk to him a little bit. He says, well, first of all, I'm so happy because I don't have to come back tomorrow.
It's got to feel good.
Yeah, it means a lot. Oh, and he says, I actually haven't been sleeping well recently, so I was like sleeping backstage and whatnot, and I haven't been sleeping because I feel really like chased, and I feel all this pressure to keep playing more and practicing more, and so it's a vicious cycle.
Does that mean he didn't watch the previous games with Flurry?
I'm assuming he like woke up and watched a little bit and dozed off again.
Could be.
And he's like, well, some people generally just don't sleep that much anyway, so it's okay, but. Oh, and of course, talking about his teammates. Yeah, so like all of them haven't really been sleeping much. He said, I mean, of course, I'm probably have to face them in the semis now, but I think what helps the most is not just them like helping tune decks or whatnot, but especially for them because they have a little bit more experience than I do. They really help me stay focused, and they get rid of my worries and anxiety in preparing for tournaments. So they've helped me not become nervous. Of course, Palmblad also a little bit on the older side of players. And let's talk about the matches today. And yeah, well, watching the first match backstage, and well, I think both sides, Flurry and Dom, both of them, were like, oh, okay, I think my class choices match up pretty well. And as you guys saw, I brought Handlock, the Giant Lock, and that does pretty well against Zoolock. So I wasn't too scared of that, which was kind of the biggest change this week in the meta. Let's watch a little bit of replays with the player himself. This is, of course, his matchup against Time.
Right. And this would have been that game number 5 too. Barely squeaking through that one. So going from a 5-game set to a 3-0.
We asked him, he's like, all right, so you remember this game, right? He's like, no.
Yeah, I suppose I couldn't tell you what my game like 3 games ago on the ladder was like.
Yeah. And so, in that play, he said, well, I knew, the only thing that would have blocked me from winning was a Loatheb. Anything else I could have tested for, I could go in and still get the lethal. So very well calculated. Yeah, even for that explosive trap. despite the anxiety, of course, not making that crucial mistake of maybe not testing it early enough.
Mhm.
One second. So he said, oh, he says, after I went through the round of 16, to be honest, I got I got a little bit of fame in the community, especially thanks to the Prius deck.
Oh, of
but
course.
because of the Prius deck, after my round of 16 showing, oh, you know, I'd be browsing like the community and the forums, and a lot of times if I just lost a ladder match, I'd see that person like go online and post and be like, "Oh, I just played against Palmblad. He's really bad. He actually just got lucky." Like that's what it was. And so he said, normally as a professional player, that would just make you really angry because you're like, I know I'm better than that. But for me, because I know that I haven't really proven myself publicly yet, that actually made me lose confidence a lot. So that was a little bit rough. But and so he was just giving a shout, you know, kind of a shout out to the community, saying, you know, I hope I've really proven myself today, where I've shown that I can win without those, you know, kind of pocket picks and the gimmick decks here coming in.
Palmblad needs to learn the first lesson of esports at any level, which is
Don't
don't listen to the trolls, man.
And Palmblad just saying that, yeah, I mean, overall, a lot of those concerns and whatnot are, I think I've kind of, you know, put them in the past now that I've made it this far in the tournament. I don't think I can necessarily ask for more. Of course, I'm sure, you know, we saw him in the round of 16 too, saying that, of course, the goal is to go as far as you can and win the tournament,
Right?
as is everyone's goal in a tournament. But Palmblad, now, last words, shout out to any fans and the community as he prepares for the semifinals. And I know a lot of you probably expected me to bring in, you know, some newer, more fun decks in the round of 8 because I showed you the Prius deck in the round of 16. But, you know, I wanted to tell you guys that, of course, today it was a dual, the round of 8 is a dual tournament. You have to play more than one person, so I had to just bring in whatever was safer and stronger in general, because I can't pick and choose my targets. But going to the semis, things will be different, so I'm going to try to bring in something surprising for everyone.
Cool.
I like that, though. You know, I think it was very smart of him. And again, I think more than anything, more than the game, he understands tournaments well as a whole.
I think Palmblad is coming into this really understanding what he needs to do to switch things up, to play in a tournament environment, and I think that's certainly part of what's given him the wins, you know, both times we've seen him now.
Yeah. So we'll see how he does in the semis. We'll have to wait a week before we can see him play.
Yeah. A very, very well prepared, probably the best prepared player I think we've seen.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Now, of course, last time he also drew some really nice cards for the pack opening here for the fans. And he's just saying, oh, I don't think I'll have the same luck today. But, you know, I also want to mention something interesting, not just about Palmblad, but so we were talking about this 2 weeks ago after the broadcast with the Korean casters, and it means a lot, maybe not as much to the global fans, but it means a lot here in Korea that so many of these players are actually from top universities here in Korea. I believe in the round of 16 we had 2 from Seoul University and 2 from KAIST, which is Seoul University is the #1 university in Korea, and KAIST is the #1 engineering school in Korea. And for the Korean community where like academics mean so much and that reputation of your school name and whatnot means so much, to see those players like partaking in esports and doing well, I think really means a lot to the Korean community here, and just, you know, gives them hope that, yeah, you know what, there are games where really it's not just about the micro. It's much more just brain power focused, which it is in Hearthstone. There is no micro involved other than misclicking.
Right. You're not practicing the same build hundreds of times a day, right? You're just kind of thinking a lot and making sure that you have the right responses for the right situations.
Exactly. So pretty exciting to see, but we'll see what kind of cards Palmblad can open today. Red T, Caster Red T will be joining him since we only have one player moving on so far today. But again, for our 3 other players, Flurry, Dawn, and Time, you will see them tomorrow as they will play losers match and then the final match with Flurry, who will be waiting to the very end.
Apparently the guy in the right, Red T, our new caster here for Hearthstone, was a popular streamer here in Korea.
Yes.
That's how he was kind of discovered.
Yeah. So he was kind of all on that Hearthstone train in the beginning here in Korea, started streaming it. And, you know, people really liked just his personality. He casted some online tournaments, and here he is at OGN.
And there's the Mergurgler.
And the Mergurgler in the middle. I heard the Mergurgler was not present last week.
No, it was her little sister, actually, that took over for her.
Oh, is she like the mini Mergurgler?
That's what we called her, actually. Mini Mergurgler, yep.
All right, well, we'll see what cards come out. But I really like the match. San, I know we keep mentioning it, but I think it's just so important that Palmblad, the preparation, it's not just about the decks, it's not just about his play, but overall he kind of just understands what it takes to do well in a tournament, I feel. And part of that is perhaps, you know, that he is on the older side, and, you know, he kind of looks at the bigger picture.
Well, the Screw Jank Clunker, the rare out of that pack. And while I would love to, you know, I've played Mech Warrior, you know, I've done it, but ooh, wow, golden target dummy. That's the loudest you'll ever hear anyone cheer for a golden target dummy, guys. But yeah, sadly, Mech Warrior not working terribly well.
Not yet, though. You never know. Yet. Maybe a year down the road, we'll get another expansion that will bring life.
We need additional cards. It's true.
One more? No Goldens, no Legendaries, nothing exciting.
Golden target dummy.
I haven't opened a Legendary in a while for my arena winnings.
Yeah? Me neither.
I think I'm due. I think I'm about due. So one of our makeup ladies has started playing Hearthstone.
Oh, really?
And she's like super interested in the game, and she plays it all the time on her phone now. And she was telling me, she's like, oh, so yesterday I opened 10 packs, and I got 2 Legendaries. I was like, that is crazy good.
Not
I
bad.
mean, generally, you only get one every 20, and she's like, yeah, but I've opened a lot before, and I never got even, like, epics.
Wow,
so
maybe that's not as good.
Gotta feel bad.
Oh, well.
Oh, there's an epic.
Oh, it's an epic.
Which one is it? Oh, yeah, the best epic of them all.
Mindbender, right?
No, the Shadow Bomber.
Shadow Bomber, that's what I meant. No, here's why I called it that, because there was a card in a different card game called Mind Bomb that was one blue mana for 3 damage to each player. So whenever I see that card in Hearthstone, oh no.
Oh no.
They dropped the mouse too?
Yeah, he's just ripping apart the set.
Palmblad,
he's like,
you're fired.
Banned from the studio.
Disqualified.
All right, let's see what he can open here.
That's right. See, he was trying to do the trick where you like pull the tablecloth off, but everything stands on it, but it doesn't work that well.
Uh-oh, the mouse isn't working anymore.
Oh no.
Oh man, but look at this packed house today.
We need a touchscreen showrun.
Yeah, we do. Oh man,
that fan on the right, look at the guy in the white shirt, he's really upset.
Yeah.
He's like, just open the packs already. I don't know why he's talking like Batman, but pray to me when you're opening packs.
Ooh, wow, he's already got an epic.
Yeah.
So like there are Android devices that are basically like TVs, but they work with Android, and so you can play mobile games. And I wonder how it would be playing like on a 60-inch, but Hearthstone.
I think your arms would get very tired. Yeah.
Bringing the sport into esports, still.
That's right. Who says it's not a physical activity?
Oh man. Today's packs are very lackluster.
I know, right?
Not too exciting.
Oh, it's a rare.
2 rares.
Not that exciting. Well, it got exciting when like the tablecloth fell off the desk.
Yeah, that's true. He made up for it.
He made
up for it.
So 50 extra packs given out to fans here.
Yeah, I mean it's still a lot of
but
packs.
None to you.
None to you. None to me.
Or me. Or any of the fans watching us. But if they come to the studio, maybe they can get some.
Yeah. Totally worth it. Should pay for a ticket to fly to Seoul to watch Hearthstone live, meet us, and maybe get some free packs.
Yeah. Like a $3,000 ticket for like a $50 value.
Hey man, totally worth it.
Value. Well, Flurry 3-1 against Dawn.
Yeah, he had a pretty good start here.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, the Rogue, a little bit greedy, but again, that wasn't really what cost him in the end. Maybe the BGH you could argue, but still, the Hunter eventually just got the lethal on his own. And then we had Palmblad taking a close 3-2 against Time.
About as back and forth as it gets, but in the end, Palmblad's Druid triumphing over the Hunter of Time. Which sounds like a really cool fantasy novel or something now that I say it. Yeah. Or like a cool heavy metal song.
And then the 3-0, a little bit shocking because it's not too common in Conquest mode, but Palmblad does take it in the end, and he will be going to the semifinals. So 3 players from Team Godsteo already now in the semifinal.
Yep. Pretty amazing stuff. So tomorrow we will see Flurry versus Dawn. And then I'm sorry, we're going to see Flurry versus Time.
No, Time
Dawn
versus Dawn.
Okay, hold up. Let's rewind for a second, guys. Let's start that one over again. Tomorrow we're going to see Dawn versus Time. There we go. And then the winner of that will face Flurry to decide who our second player from Group B is to go to the semifinals. But I think, again, the big story here is that all 3 players in the round of 16 from Godseo making it to the semifinals. Pretty amazing, actually, when you think about it.
Making a big splash in the first season of OGN this year for Hearthstone. And hey, so they're going to secure, at least a spot in the finals.
Yeah, easily the best team in Korea right now, judging by this tournament. And, I know a little bit more about these players from, kind of being in the scene, and all the guys on Godseo right now are really, really good. They are, like, on top, not just in this tournament, but just in general in Korea right now.
Yeah, and as you heard Palmblad talk about it, but also when you've seen the other 2 players too, their preparation is very solid. I mean, they know what they're getting themselves into. They understand how the game works, how Conquest mode works, what decks are strongest at the meta, and everything front and back. So congratulations to those 3 players, but again, we will determine the last semifinalists tomorrow, so don't forget to tune in. We'll start at the usual time of 9 p.m. KST tomorrow since we only have 2 matches.
Yeah, so 2 hours later than tonight, but it's still going to be just as exciting.
Yeah.
Still waiting for someone to bring mid warrior, but it's not going to happen. It's a solid B tier deck.
Yeah,
right
it's
now,
a little risky for now.
And again, nobody can change their decks between today and tomorrow anyway,
so
true. We are going to see the same decks again.
Maybe that's what Palmblad will bring in the semifinals.
Maybe
a little twist to mid-range.
I mean, combo warrior is good. It's like any combo deck. It suffers a bit from consistency issues,
Yeah.
So. Maybe we'll see someone tune it a little bit more properly. Someone just hit #1 on NA with a version of it. So, I don't know. I've got high hopes. I love aggressive
and more
decks,
cards coming out, this week, too, for the semifinals. So, we'll see if any of those change it up. Looks like still everyone's deciding to take their time in adding any of these cards. Other
Dragon
than, like...
Priest? Dragon Paladin?
Hey, people are putting high hopes. I'm all about the Dragon Priest. I haven't really tested it out yet. I'm waiting for the rest of the dragons.
I'm a bit skeptical, but it would be cool to see a more kind of, like, tribe-oriented decks come out. But that's it for tonight, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Chobra and Doi here for Hearthstone Masters Korea at OGN. We will be back with the rest of the quarterfinals tomorrow at 9 p.m. KST. We'll put it all on social media, so we'll see you guys tomorrow for the rest and see who the final semifinalist is here in Season 1 of Hearthstone Masters Korea.